Saffira Lumina greeted the world on a violet twilight, 9th July, 1997, in a bamboo birthhouse that stood stilted above the lagoon flats of Raiatea, French Polynesia. Out on the water, her mother, a traveling ukulele songwriter who saved gardenia petals in her cord notebook, plucked lullaby arpeggios across the baby's first breath. Her father, a Pearl Farm diver who sketched reef maps on waxed bread paper, leaned close to the bassinet and promised his daughter that waves always make room for bodies willing to stretch full length. Curves meander through the Lumina family the way phosphorescence follows night paddlers. So no one fretted when infant Saffira tore 2 cotton wraps before the moon slipped past the palm crowns. Granmere Hine loosened every seam with a shark bone needle, filled the gaps with scraps of faded sailcloth, and laughed that spare fabric cost less than teaching a girl to shrink. Childhood smelled of mango sap, chalk dust, and salty spray. Saffira stood broader and taller than every classmate, and her outline swallowed the projector glow each time she recited multiplication chants on the wall board. One recess, after a boy nicknamed her Cargo Fairy, she combed the sand spit for soda caps polished bright by current, threaded them on fishing leader into a tinkling spine, and stitched it down the back of her school blouse. Next dawn, angled sunlight scattered silver constellations across the plywood ceiling, and a traveling substitute filmed 8 seconds on a first-generation phone. By sunrise, 12,000 strangers had applauded the girl who turned teasing into lagoon light. She wrote a single promise on her exercise book in violet ink. When clouds crowd the reef, scatter mirrors until they drift. Weekends belonged to the dock, where her mother's ukulele riffs mingled with the crackle of sizzling taro fritters. Off-the-rack shorts squeezed tight around Saffira's hips, so she bartered tip jar coins for discarded sail tarpaulins, cut them into high-rise culottes, spray-painted manta silhouettes with squid ink, and posed at sunset against barnacled pylons while a friend snapped grainy images. She opened a journal named Lagoon Lantern just as a new photo app floated across Pacific cell towers. Captions hopped between Tahitian sayings and honest English truths like curves anchor storms better than seawalls. By 16, 48,000 unseen hearts tapped each golden hour post, proof that distant screens hush playground whispers. A scholarship carried her east to the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Mornings dissolved inside coral restoration labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour spa musubi kiosk, glowing electric pink. The heat lamp became her single softbox. During lull minutes, she filmed 90-second reels, twisting parchment wrap into plumeria barrettes, while explaining dart rotation in a voice balance between lagoon hush and campus bright. One clip layered spinner dolphin clicks on a pocket sampler while she chain-stitched reflective cord inside thrift denim. 48 hours later, the reel skimmed past 1 million plays. Island-style blogs crowned her the musubi couturier, though every sponsor email capped at size 16. Saffira filed each proposal into a folder she labeled Shrinking Nets, wiped soy glaze from her cuff, and seared another rice block. The tide turned in early 2023 when Billabong women proposed a capsule called Coral Pulse. Saffira replied with 3 shoreline steady terms, patterns up to a 60-inch hip, production crews half recruited from Pacific trade schools, and 10% of profit pledged to Crown of Thorns sea star removal across Raiatea reefs. Billabong signed before sunrise. The shoot unfolded on a sand cay painted pink by algae, Saffira guiding curvy freedivers through aquamarine haze while a drone traced spirals overhead. When the lookbook launched, every extended-size surf jacket sold out within 41 hours in 24 nations. Lagoon Lantern leapt beyond 700,000 followers. Still smelling of sesame steam, she ducked behind rice sacks, propped her phone on a cooler chest, and live-streamed tear-bright gratitude under buzzing fluorescent tubes. If your pulse quickened alongside hers, tap subscribe right now. One gentle click lifts our canoe and cues the algorithm to drop every swell of new stories onto your beach before they crest elsewhere. Spotlight shimmer drew rumor gulls. A gossip vlog insisted Saffira pinched her waist in fiberglass plates between surf sessions. She paddled a bamboo board into dawn glass, stood balanced in sports bra and board shorts, traced every stretched line with crushed hibiscus chalk, and sang an a cappella refrain about bodies steering monsoon winds. 10 million viewers reposted the feed, naming it hibiscus proof, dusting their own curves pink until gossip dissolved like salt crystals in rain. Night shifts and capsule royalties blended into Lumina Glow, a whipped body custard, folding coconut butter to Manu oil and mica flecks that flash pearl and foam beams. Saffira poured 20,000 tins inside a pearl hatchery workroom, tied each lid with braided hibiscus cord, and slid a tag reading, "Moisturize your tide." The batch vanished in 83 minutes, raising $189,000. 20% launched Reef Beacon grants, sending industrial surgers and pocket hydrophones to plus-size teens scattered from Rarotonga to Rurutu. 9 months later, 37 grantees streamed a drifting fashion and sea sound pageant aboard an outrigger, decked in LED shells, broadcast by morning newsrooms from Auckland to Lima. Honolulu Fashion Week minted new folklore when a stage fan shredded Saffira's emerald mesh gown from rib to knee 90 seconds before curtain. Borrowing neon anchor rope from a lighting tech, she laced the slash like sneaker eyelets and strode out as though the splice lived in every sketch. Camera shutters snapped like breaker sets. Vogue Moana crowned the save. Rope Rhapsody and another million Lantern Voyagers surfaced before after-party guitars tuned. Sabotage tried again when a fired consultant leaked fragments suggesting she demanded lobster tempura and chauffeured catamarans for her rescue turtle Pomaikai. Saffira posted the full email chain revealing she had asked only for refillable water urns, banana bread for crew, and captioned rehearsal monitors for deaf stylists. That month's affiliate revenue, $136,000, paid for biodegradable fishing lie trials in 3 lagoons. Fans echoed her reef mantra, "Receipts sparkle brighter than rumor silt," until whispers settled beneath tide hush. By midsummer, Lagoon Lantern shimmered among 6.6 million Instagram hearts, 3.3 million real Voyagers, and 2 million unwavering channel subscribers. Engagement drifts near 10%, sending marketing textbooks back to the printer. Cartier invited her to front Topaz Surge inside the lens chamber of Makapu'u Lighthouse. She accepted once Cartier pledged therapy stipends for small craft crews battered by strengthening cyclone seasons. The final ad, her wrist scattering amber shards across cast iron ribs, became Cartier's top saved clip of the quarter. Family steadies her compass. Twice each lunar cycle, she streams, strings, and steam with her mother plucking ukulele over a propane griddle while her father reads star map haikus and Saffira flips thrift jackets under fairy bulbs. One broadcast peaked at 9 million when Pomaikai scuttled across a mound of powdered sugar and sneezed crystals onto the lens. A turtle rescue now sponsors every stream, tagging rehabilitated hatchlings with solar beacons bankrolled by Lumina Glow. Glow revenue sailed beyond $12 million in its second year. Saffira leased a shuttered fish cannery, carved skylights through corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands plus garment grads to whip and jar. Every tin closes with a hibiscus cord knot pulled during midday stretch dances to ukulele bass remixes. Efficiency advisors begged for shrink bands, but she repeated her mother's stage oath. Fingertips guard legends long after robots forget, and the knots stay human. She laces mental wellness honesty through each post, pairing reef edge portraits with snack counter selfies, captioned "Same swell, different weather." Breath tracks recorded under lava arches, printable reframing sheets in English and Tahitian, and half-price therapy links drift through her feed. 103,000 followers have enrolled, many calling her shoreline candor their first safe harbor. Community rides glow with crushed shell paint. Hundreds of cyclists cruise the esplanade at dusk, wearing Lumina Glow on collarbones and LED reef fish on spokes. Ticket sales deepen Reef Beacon and fund wheelchair snorkel lifts at rocky points. Harbor cafes stay open late on ride nights because guava fizz sales jump 15%. Saffira pedals lead on a beach cruiser with Pomaikai plush strapped to the basket, pausing whenever any rider's laces drag or reflector slips. Her memoir, Currents Keep Names, is locked for 11-language release next winter, while a streaming service shadows her dream to convert mothballed ocean buoys into floating maker studios for archipelago schools. Puma's wide-toe wave lantern sneakers launch soon, threaded with reflective rope laces and cushioned by algae foam soles, funneling 10% of profit into Reef Beacon grants. If you have sailed this far without hitching your sail to ours, let this be the second breeze that moves your thumb. Tap subscribe now so tomorrow's tide greets you before it touches another shore. Slide below the player when we finish and open the description. You will find fresh Lumina Glow restocks, the quick lane for Reef Beacon grants, tonight's Strings and Steam playlist, and a quiet treasure, a research-backed guide full of conversation anchors and gentle confidence rituals that help you inspire authentic affection so the woman you dream of sees dawn shimmer in your eyes. The sea of love is wide, yet that chart never mispoint. If the soda cap spine, rope rhapsody rescue, or Pomeka E's sugar sneeze, sprinkled a smile, press like, file your favorite splash in the comments, and hand this voyage to a friend whose sails sag for want of wind. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Pacific bows to anyone bold enough to stand wide at reef's edge and greet tomorrow without blinking. One last hush of surf laps the hull. Subscribe now, claim your berth, and join me on the next tide when a new story blazes bright beyond the lagoon mouth.